Hey everyone, and welcome to my Cell Perks, Armour Perks and Middleman Guide to Dauntless. My name is Azzavhar. This guide was made in June 2019, just after the Dauntless cross-platform official launch. And this guide will give information on different cell categories, cell tiers, perks within the armour and weapons, and combinations of armour, cells and weapons that work well together, plus a rundown of how the middleman works. With that being said, let's get into it. Cell categories. You have 5 different categories for cells, which are defense, power, mobility, technique, and utility. Defense cells will give you cells such as fireproof, which protects from being set on fire, fortress, which grants a small shield after avoiding damage for a time, and 9 lives, which grants a chance to half damage, and at later tiers, a chance to cheat death. Power cells will give you cells such as Sharpened, which gives a % increase to part damage, Knockout King, which gives a % increase to stagger damage, and Deconstruction, which gives a bonus damage against objects created by behemoths. Mobility cells, which give you cells such as Swift Cell, which increases movement speed when your weapon is sheathed, Conditioning, which increases stamina regen, and Evasion, which increases the time you are invincible while dodging. Technique cells, which give you cells such as Cunning, which grants a chance to deal double damage, Weighted Strikes, which adds a flat amount of stagger damage on hit, at later ranks allows more attacks to interrupt, and Blade Storm, which adds part damage to each hit. Utility cells, which give you cells such as Medic, which improves your ability to revive allies, Conduit, which makes your Lantern Hold ability grant all Slayers a temporary attack speed increase, and Energize, which increases your weapon meter gain rate. Cell tiers. There are 3 tiers to all cells, each higher tier giving a better benefit than the previous tier. For example, a tier 1 agility cell will give you a 10% reduction in stamina cost for a dodge roll, a tier 2 will give you a 20% reduction, and a tier 3 will give you a 30% reduction. Inbuilt armor perks. Over at Moira, the armor smith, you will get to check out all the pieces of armor and also the perks that are built into the armor pieces as well. You can also check these perks in the loadout screen, but I find for a clearer look at things that Moira is the better option. So in this screen you will see on the right hand side that each armor piece will give you a perk. That perk will start at tier 1 and increase up to tier 3 as you upgrade the armor. So for example, the Nasher Cloak at level 1 would give you a tough perk of +1, which will then increase to tough 2 and then tough 3. This piece of armor also has a defense cell slot in it, allowing you to slot a defense type cell, which are the ones with the shield icon. So you could slot a tier 3 tough cell into the level 10 Nasher Cloak, which would then give you a total of +6 tough, which would give you a total benefit of +500 health and increase any healing received by 50%. 6 is the highest perk level at this time, so there is no benefit to going any higher than perk level 6. This same logic also applies to the weaponsmith and weapons as well. For example, the Karabakh sword at level 10 gives Blade Storm +3, which gives +15 part damage on hit. Here is an example build, and if you look to the right of the screen, you will see a perk summary. So on this particular build, we have 6 Blade Storm, 6 Conduit, 6 Sharpened, 6 Weighted Strikes, 3 Etheric Attunement, 3 Agility, 3 Conditioning, and 3 Predator. So this gives a nice part break build from the Blade Storm and Sharpened. It gives us the ability to stagger and interrupt behemoths as well with the 6 Weighted Strikes, and the rest gives us a bit of damage increase, such as the Predator that gives increased damage for not getting hit for 15 seconds, the Agility reduces dodge roll cost, and the Conditioning gives us faster stamina regen, so it gives us a quick and nimble sword build for chopping parts with a little bit of stagger damage on there too. One of the things that I enjoy most about Dauntless is seeing how creative we can get with our builds. For example, with just a few clicks, you can change your part break build into a wound damage build, or a defensive build, a stagger build, a support build. The possibilities are endless. Don't forget that weapons and armor can also have unique effects, such as the Skarn weapons, that when you deal damage, there is a chance that your Slayer will gain a small health shield. You can buy a total of 3 cells per week from the Middleman, in exchange for Aether Dust or Platinum, 1 epic and 2 rare. Every player in the game is offered the same cells each week. The Middleman also allows you to exchange cells in order to obtain higher rarity cells. For example, you can combine 2 cells of the same type and the same tier to create 1 cell of the same type at the higher tier. You're able to skip the wait duration for each exchange by spending Ace Chips. Ace Chips can be bought in the store and earned from certain quests. Each Ace Chip equals to 1 hour in waiting time. If you use Ace Chips, you will have to pay off the remaining duration in order to complete the exchange. You will have to wait a certain amount of time in order to complete the exchange. Combining 2 cells of the same family, such as power or defense, will give you a higher rarity cell of the same family. Combining 2 cells of different families will give you a higher rarity cell of any family. Combining 2 cells with the same perk will give a higher rarity cell with that same perk. You can sell unwanted cells to the Middleman in exchange for Aether Dust. There is even a Dauntless Builder website, which I will link in to help you get even more creative with your builds. So here comes the fun bit. You get to play around and build whatever type of build you want. You can make a build more focused on staggering a behemoth, one that is good for breaking parts, a build that is more of a tank class, using tough, fortress and guardian cells, one that is built for wounding, medic class using the medic cells, or just an all-rounder, good for a bit of everything. At the end of the day, the choice is yours, so play around and have fun with your builds, and in future patches, I believe we'll be getting equipment loadouts to allow us to quickly select a bunch of preset gear, so we can look forward to that. Thank you for watching my cell perks, armor perks, and the Middleman guide to Dauntless. Hopefully this video helps you in some way and you found it useful. If you did enjoy the video, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notifications bell. If you want to catch me on a live stream and hunt some behemoths together, make sure to follow me on Twitch TV. Twitch TV name is Azzavhar. If you enjoy the content and you want to support me as a content creator, you can use Epic Creator Code Azzavhar when making any purchase on the Epic Games store. I also have other Dauntless content on YouTube as well, if you'd like to check that out. You can find me on social medias and in the game as Azzavhar. If you want to say hello, I will leave the links in the description to this video. And until next time, take care.
Love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun.